I thought my 25th birthday would be one of the happiest nights of my life. Instead, it became the night that shattered everything I believed about my family. My name is Emma, and at 25, I thought I knew exactly who I was. My parents had rented a private room at a popular restaurant in Chicago. Friends, relatives, and family acquaintances filled the tables. Balloons hung from the ceiling, and a giant silver 25 stood behind my chair. I remember smiling as my mom tapped her glass with a spoon. "Everyone, can I have your attention?" she said. The room fell silent. At first, I expected a birthday speech, maybe a funny childhood story, but the look on my parents' faces felt wrong, cold, almost rehearsed. My father stood up beside her and cleared his throat. "Before we celebrate," he said, "there's something everyone deserves to know." A strange knot tightened in my stomach. Then he looked directly at me. "We're done pretending," he said. The room became so quiet, I could hear my own heartbeat. My mother folded her arms and said words that would haunt me forever. "You're not really our daughter." I laughed nervously, waiting for someone to smile. No one did. And that's when I noticed a family sitting 3 tables away, staring at me with tears in their eyes. For a few seconds, I couldn't move. I just sat there staring at my parents, waiting for someone to say it was a joke. Nobody did. The guests around me exchanged nervous glances. A few people looked down at their plates. Others stared at me with pity. My chest felt tight. "What are you talking about?" I whispered. My mother didn't even look emotional. "You were adopted when you were a baby," she said flatly. "And honestly, we should have told you years ago." The words hit me like a truck. Adopted? 25 years of birthdays, holidays, family photos, and memories suddenly felt unstable. I looked at my father. "Dad, is this true?" He nodded. But what hurt wasn't the secret. It was the anger in his eyes. "We spent our lives raising you," he said. "And we're tired of being unappreciated." I felt completely blindsided. I had never asked them for money. I visited them every week. I called constantly. I thought we were close. Then my mother pointed across the room. "Maybe it's time you met the people who actually belong with you." Confused, I followed her finger. The family sitting 3 tables away immediately stood up. A woman with trembling hands pressed her palm on the ground. Beside her, a gray-haired man looked like he was fighting back tears. 2 younger adults stood beside them, staring at me as if they'd found someone they had lost years ago. My heart pounded. I didn't know who they were, but somehow I felt connected to them. Then the older woman took a shaky step toward me. "Emma?" she whispered. Tears rolled down her cheeks. "We've been looking for you for 24 years. The entire room froze. And in that moment, I realized my birthday party wasn't a celebration. It was the beginning of a truth my parents had desperately tried to keep buried. My entire body went numb. The restaurant, the guests, the decorations, everything around me seemed to disappear. All I could see was the woman standing in front of me crying. "We never gave you up," she said through her tears. "Never." My parents immediately stood up. "That's enough," my mother snapped. But the woman didn't back away. For the first time that night, I saw fear flash across my parents' faces. Real fear. The gray-haired man stepped forward and pulled a folder from under his arm. "We have documents," he said.
Proof.
I stared at him, unable to process anything. "What is happening?" I asked. The woman took a deep breath. "When you were 1 year old, you disappeared from a public park. We searched for you every day. We never stopped." My stomach dropped. The room erupted into shocked whispers. "No!" my father barked. "That's a lie." But nobody sounded confident anymore. The man opened the folder and handed me several papers. Old police reports, missing child notices, photographs. Then I saw it. A faded picture of a little girl. The same eyes. The same smile. The same tiny birthmark near my left shoulder. My hands began to shake. The date on the report matched my age perfectly. I looked at my parents. Neither of them would meet my eyes. "Tell me the truth," I demanded. Silence. The kind of silence that says everything. Then my mother finally spoke. "You should be grateful for the life we gave you." That wasn't an answer, and everyone in the room knew it. A woman from our extended family suddenly stood up. "I always wondered," she said quietly. The timing never made sense. Another relative nodded, then another. Piece by piece, the walls my parents had built around their stories started falling apart. The woman who claimed to be my birth mother broke down completely. For 24 years, she had celebrated my birthday without knowing where I was. For 24 years, she had kept my bedroom exactly the same. For 24 years, she had prayed she would see me again. And somehow, on the very night my parents publicly rejected me, the truth had finally found its way to me. But what I didn't know yet was that this reunion was only the beginning. Because within days, an investigation would uncover secrets that would destroy my parents. The reputation forever and leave them facing consequences they never imagined. The weeks that followed changed my life forever. After my birthday, authorities reopened the old case. Investigators reviewed records, interviewed witnesses, and uncovered details that had been buried for decades. The truth was even worse than I imagined. My adoptive parents had spent years hiding information that could have helped find my biological family. While the legal consequences played out through the courts, the damage to their reputation happened almost immediately. Friends stopped defending them. Relatives distanced themselves. People who had believed their version of the story for years finally learned the truth. As for me, I made a choice. I stopped chasing answers from people who had spent years lying to me. Instead, I focused on building relationships with the family that had never stopped loving me. Meeting my biological parents wasn't some perfect fairy tale. We had 24 years of lost time between us. There were awkward conversations, tears, and painful questions. But there was also something I had never experienced before: honesty. For the first time in my life, I felt wanted. My birth mother showed me the bedroom she had kept untouched for decades. My birth father shared the newspaper clippings he had saved from the search. My brother and sister welcomed me into their lives as if I had never been gone. And slowly, piece by piece, I found the part of myself that had always been missing. The greatest revenge wasn't watching my adoptive parents lose everything. It was realizing that their betrayal no longer controlled my future. They took years from me, but they couldn't take the life I built afterward. On my 26th birthday, I sat surrounded by the family that had searched for me, loved me, and never gave up on me. For the first time, I knew exactly where I belonged, and that feeling was worth more than any revenge could ever be. How did you like our video? Let us know in the comments. Also, tell us which country you're watching from. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more powerful stories like this.